Hi, this is Zach Meir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Vox Markets for Tuesday, the 1st of March. Starting off with Aura Energy, which didn't make the grade yesterday, where it would have been quite useful, I suppose, but we gapped up through the 50-day moving average today. I was waiting for that line of resistance from September to be broken at 16 pence, but obviously that would give away some of the upside. Top of the channel there from September up to 24 pence, and that's the 1 to 2 month target following any end of day or weekly close above that September resistance line at 16 pence. But positives here, the multiple support points above the 200-day moving average. That is rising at the moment, and in fact I think if you look closely, even the 50-day moving average is rising, so that does suggest decent technical pedigree on that situation. Speaking of technical pedigree, there's plenty of that, and also plenty of fundamental pedigree as well at the moment, with Benz Creek hitting that old resistance line there from December. At the top of the channel there is up towards 90 pence, and I suppose we're looking for that to be hit maybe by the end of next month, something like that. The latest rally started off with an unfilled gap to the upside, which is very impressive, and above the 63 pence level, which was the initial February peak, or the second February peak, I suppose, looking for 90 pence plus by the end of next month, as I said. Moving on to Borders and Southern, which was a slow mover initially, but finally popped out. Here you can see that the share is holding well above the old resistance there at 1.55 pence, and above that we're looking for 3 pence by the end of next month on this particular situation, maybe a bit more given the way that we seem to be consolidating quite nicely, but got to stay above that 1.55 pence zone to fulfill the upside there. Good move here from Bushveld Minerals. Here we've broken that line of resistance from September, also broken above the old February peak around 11.3 pence, let's call it. And the longer we stay above that, the greater the chance of a move up to that July resistance line projection at 14.5, perhaps as soon as the end of this month. But a nice sort of saucer shape base there, and final bear trap below the bear trap below the January support there to power the shares up to where they are now. The other positive at the moment is the way the 50-day moving average, currently around 9 pence, is rising. It's always good to see that rising when the shares are still relatively near to their lows. On to a stock which I haven't covered for quite a while, but here we are with Besici. I think it's Besici Tin, but can't quite remember. Here you can see that there is a broadening triangle on the daily chart from way back sort of 5 years ago, or 6 years ago actually now, and you can see that we've had an initial push to 130, back to 80, sort of V-shaped bull flag. That suggests that there's plenty of gas in the tank, and that we could hit as high as £1.80 by the end of next month, especially while we hold above the, I suppose we could have it as tight as £1.10, which was the initial 2022 resistance, but maybe if we can risk down to £1, that would be good. But above 110 at least, up to £1.80 by the end of next month or so. Moving along to another stock which I haven't covered for quite a while. It's Calnex Solutions. It's gapped up off a rising, or through a rising 50-day and actually 200-day moving average as well, so they're both rising, breaking that line of resistance from November, 128, and above that we're looking to the top of the rising trend channel from back in March last year, as high as £1.65 by the end of next month. And ideally there's no sustained price action back below 130 there for the shares. Cloudbreak Discovery had a placing news today. I think it was around the 7 pence level, and it's good to see the shares around 30% above the placing price, which is pretty impressive. We've got 9 pence, which was latterly resistance, or at least was for the couple of days ago. That should be new support. Obviously the 7 pence level could be a magnet for the shares in the meantime, but above 9 pence, looking for the retest of the 12.5 pence area, which I think I called the last time I looked at the stock. Big picture target here by the end of next month, maybe as high as 17 pence once the placing is churned out, and ideally there's no sustained price action back below 6.5, 7 pence in the meantime. Above that, looking for 17 in the near term. Stock which has started to revitalize itself quite nicely is Jersey Oil and Gas. Here we actually had the trend line break from October and the break of the 50-day moving average at £1.36 early last month. Today's break means that we're above the initial February resistance around £1.46, and I suppose now the stop loss would really be the old December resistance at 162. Above that, looking for £2.40, maybe by the end of next month or even sooner. On to stock which has sort of periodic interest in the market. It's interesting from a technical perspective at the moment because we've had 4 bounces off support around the 5 3/4 pence level. The last one a slight bear trap, which is always good and can be the trigger for further moves. As I said before, a rising 50-day moving average near the lows is normally a very good sign for a stock or a market. And we're also helped by the way that the shares have bounced off that uptrend line in the RSI window, the bullish divergence line, for the third time, normally third time lucky as well. So let's see if the shares can break through recent 7 1/4 pence resistance to give us a 9 1/2 pence target later this month. Looking quite well poised there at the moment. Covered iGas. I think maybe even yesterday, actually, or maybe on Friday, I can't remember now. But here we've broken that neckline of the cup and handle. That's the handle there, gapped through the handle, or the handle gapped up there, and through resistance. So above 19 pence, looking for 30 to 35 pence at that April resistance line projection from last year. But this saucer formation is traditionally a very, very strong pattern indeed. So one should be on the alert, hopefully, for a decent upside there over the next month or so, with a reasonable risk reward there above 19, looking for up to the 30 to 35 pence area. Moving along to another situation which is giving interest at the moment. I think I did cover this before because it seemed to be a winner in the current environment. Parkmead, and that's certainly proved to be the case. Gapped up for the second time now. We gapped up through that resistance line there from October. We've got a rising 50-day moving average, which is this is the third time today. I can say that we like that too, and breaking the 200-day line above the latest gap at 42 pence. Looking for an ambitious sounding target as high as 75 pence, which is that April resistance line projection. So let's see if there are double gaps there for Parkmead, and in fact it's an island reversal because we gapped down back in November. That particular pattern actually delivers a strong target. The island reversal, I suppose, second only to the saucer shape formation in terms of bullish charting formations. A couple of stocks to go now. First one is Proton, and here we've broken a line of resistance there from back in October, and the 50-day moving average, probably the 50-day line at 17 pence, a decent stop loss as we look for the shares to head back towards post-June resistance at 30 pence by the end of the month. If you're cautious, maybe wait for an end-of-day close through the 200-day moving average at 21 pence. Finishing off with what might be regarded as a long shot, but I suppose every stock here in the bulletin board here is technically a long shot, something we should remember. Here we've had a bear trap rebound from below the initial, or that second February floor there at 1.5 pence. Above that, looking for the shares to head back towards the 200-day moving average at just under 2 pence later this month. The big plus point, apart from the falling wedge break, is also the triple rebound off a line, RSI line of support near the 33 level. That should power the shares towards the 2 pence area relatively easily, given that bullish divergence signal is a very strong one as well. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.